Hi, I'm Kelly Duvall, President and CEO of Fixer Up Home Repair Studio. Thank you for joining me today. Today's video is a little bit unique. We are going to be preparing for a future project. So let's talk a little bit about what that is. The future project is going to be helping you to install your hardware for your cabinets, doors, and drawers. So you've got to be really careful when you're doing that because you're dealing with some pretty expensive items that can't easily be replaced, and you don't want to just go putting holes in these items without having the proper tools. So the first thing that we need to prepare for is the items that we need for this project. And that first item is a cabinet hardware jig. That sounds pretty intimidating, but it's not. And once you see it, you're going to realize it's really pretty easy to use, and it's so good to have when you're doing holes in cabinets. So I'll walk you through that here shortly. They're very inexpensive. You can probably buy one for as little as $20 on Amazon, but it is a critical tool for this type of project and well worth the money spent. The second item is actually purchasing your hardware. The hardware, again, meaning your handles and your doorknobs. And so what you need to do is go maybe to your local hardware store or your local home improvement store, and they have these items typically housed somewhere in the store around the nuts, bolts, screws, nails, that type of product. And there's usually a section that's dedicated just to these knobs and handles. If you can't find it, ask one of the sales associates. Ask them for the direction to the cabinet door handles and knobs, and they'll be able to direct you right to it. Once you have these things purchased, we're ready to get started on our video. Let's get going. This is what our cabinet hardware jig looks like once it's assembled. This is your cabinet hardware jig before it's assembled. You've got a number of pieces. The first one is your metal ruler. If you look in the center, it starts with a 0 and it counts 1, 2, 3, 4 and up to the right, and the same to the left. And the reason for this is so that we have a center point. We will take the first piece, and if you look at the sides of each of these products, there is a slit on the side of them so that the ruler will slide right through. There's also a little screw at the bottom that will allow you to align it right at the 0 mark. Just screw it down and it's in place. We'll add the guide, which has a little round metal piece at the top. It goes all the way through. And then you have your tightening screw at the bottom. Again, you have the slit that slides over the ruler. Get it in place and screw it down. Do that to the other side as well. Now, we're not putting these in any particular spot at the moment other than just to show you how it is assembled. The top piece is the last piece, and this is the guide from the top down when you're doing a drawer. It is the guide that helps you stay level. Pull it over the top and screw it down. Now that you've assembled the cabinet hardware jig, let's take a piece of hardware and demonstrate how to adjust the jig. On the bottom of your hardware, align the screw holes to the jig. You should move it around until you have the same distance on both sides of center, and that is where you're going to set your markers. So loosen the screws on the guide and drag until your guide is aligned to the proper metric. Then tighten the screws. Once you have your markers secured, hold your hardware against the guide to confirm it's properly placed. Congratulations, that wasn't so bad, was it? You've now gained some new knowledge, you have a new tool that you've added to your toolbox, and you're ready to go for next week's video. Next week's video is installing cabinet hardware. I'll see you then.